When you're watching videos here on YouTube, is there anything that really stands out that makes a story more engaging than just a random video that you stumble upon? Whether you're telling your own story or you're telling someone else's story within the video, the audience isn't gonna care unless you have this one thing. It's called desire. And being able to clearly identify a character's desire in your story is gonna either make or break your video.
I was in Alaska on a remote island shooting a documentary when I got that unshakable desire for that over-roasted burnt oil.
So what I wanna do is dig into this a little bit and just talk about what this is and how you actually use it to make more impactful videos. Whether you are doing big stories or you're creating just a random little vlog, it doesn't matter. The more that you inject story into everything that you're doing, the more engaged your audience is going to become and the more interested they are in the experience. So let's keep it super simple. What is desire? It's whatever you want, whatever you care about, whatever you need. It's that thing that you're going for. It could be a goal. It could be like you're trying to do a race. Maybe you're doing a marathon and you're trying to get to that finish line. Maybe it's something like you're trying to get to somewhere specific, like you're trying to climb a mountain. Oftentimes I use an analogy of a mountain because it has such a strong desire. You want to get to the peak and you know exactly what that character wants. Now, I have a couple examples I'm going to show you in this video. I have this one video I did about my drone failing at the worst possible time. And right at the beginning of this video, I set up that the desire is that I really want to get good footage of the DJI Mavic 3 Pro because it's a new drone that's coming out. And my desire is to get good footage for the launch. In September, I got an email from DJI asking if I wanted to test out a few new products. The Action 2, the Ronin 4D, and the most exciting, the Mavic 3. I knew this was going to be a big launch, and I wanted to get a wide range of footage. So I have a want right at the beginning, like there's something that I need that sets up the whole story of what's going to happen. Now, on the other end, I have this older video that I shot way long ago when I went to Thailand and I was just doing daily vlogging. I just turned on the camera and started recording and just filmed the day. And you can see right at the beginning, there's no strong desire. There's no want. There's nothing that I really need or nothing that I'm really going for. And the video is just really boring because of that. We had a beautiful day this morning, so we decided to do a little walk down the beach. We don't know where we're going, actually. We just kept walking and we found this cool area, a bunch of beach bars and beach restaurants. There's a massage place almost every 2 feet. Someone asking you for a massage or a place where they do massages. And we're like right at the foot of this giant limestone cliff right here, which is really cool. So you can think of desire as basically like your guiding light. So having a strong desire, having that strong want anchors your audience and gives them something to come along on the journey with you. And it also gives something for the audience to root for. Like they want to be there with you as you're pushing towards whatever goal you're going towards. Now, these can be small. These could be just something like, hey, I wanted to go get a milkshake at this specific place. And that is your desire for the entire video. Or it could be something big and massive, like you're trying to become a circus performer and perform at, the next big circus show. It really doesn't matter. It's just having that desire gives the grounding so that your audience can come along with you on the journey. And so any type of content you're producing, you always want to think of, well, what is the destination? What is the goal? What is your want? What is your desire? And that's going to help figure out, well, what am I supposed to shoot to actually get to the end goal here? And oftentimes when you're telling stories, you want to have conflict and you want to have tension. Well, having that desire and knowing what that desire is for you or for the characters you're working with oftentimes is what sets up that tension and what sets up the conflict, because the conflict is what's going to be going against that desire. So there's a lot of different things that go into telling a story, but right up front, having that desire is the key element that lets everything else work to be able to move you to that goal, to that endpoint, and keep the viewer coming along with you. So if I was shooting a video and I wanted to capture some footage of me hiking, here's shots of me hiking through the desert. I didn't really set up a desire. There's nothing. It's just footage of me hiking through the desert. Not going to be that exciting unless you're just doing like a silent adventure. But even so, with something like a silent adventure, if you have a goal in mind, well, it's going to help make that more exciting. So let's reframe this. Let's say I'm hiking in the desert because I want to go find an abandoned bridge that's out in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, now there is conflict, there's tension. Will I get to the bridge? What's going to happen with the heat and the challenges that are coming along? It's an abandoned bridge. Is it accessible? Like, there's all these things that start to come together that start adding that tension and the conflict. And you can ramp up the tension and conflict, which is something that's going to make your video just more engaging. Now, there's 3 types of desire that you can use. You can use an external desire, an internal desire, or a universal desire. So an external would be something like, I want to go get footage of my drone out in Alaska, or I want to climb to the top of a mountain, or I want to get to the abandoned bridge. Now, that's going to be something external. Now, internal is that something like you want to feel like you belong, or you're trying to find your creative spark again. You're trying to get away from the burnout. Maybe it's something like you're lost and you're trying to find direction. So there's this internal conflict going on. And by the end of this video, you're hoping to find the solution that's going to get you out of that state of mind. And then there could be some more like universal desires, like love and purpose and connection. And these are just general themes that kind of connect all of us. But when we're making our content, especially here on YouTube, the more personal that you can make it, the more engaging that content's going to be. So whether it's an internal battle or an external battle, and you have this tension of you trying to get something, it wants to tie it to you. Even in a vlog, a story is going to work so much better if the audience knows exactly what you want. So let's figure out how to come up with a desire before you go out and shoot. So before you press record, just think through, what do you want? So if you're making a vlog, what do you want? You don't want to end up like this Thailand vlog that I made where I'm just walking around the beach talking about people doing massages and hiking over here and this and that and getting a coconut. Like, that's boring. Whereas if I had more purpose to what this story was all about, maybe it would have become a more engaging vlog. Like my example when I went up to Alaska to shoot with the DJI Mavic Pro 3. I wanted to get good footage. But the issue is I couldn't get good footage because of rain, because of the situations we found ourselves in. The drone wasn't working. Like, there was all these things that happened. And the crazy thing is, when I was actually making that vlog, I didn't know my desire before the edit. So this is another way that you can come up with your desire. If you are going on an adventure and you just want to shoot the adventure, and you don't really have a specific goal out of the gate, doesn't mean that it's not going to become a good story later on. So with this Mavic 3 Pro video, I went up to Alaska and shot a bunch of stuff, but I didn't really know how to stitch it together in a story. And that's when I looked at all the footage and kind of worked backwards. So I looked at what I had and I figured out, how could I piece this together that has more of the story, with this desire, with this conflict, and ultimately a resolution at the end. And the big thing was the Mavic 3 Pro kept failing and I kept having all these issues that pushed us back. And so I was able to take the footage and reformulate it to start with this desire and work towards this goal, which was actually getting good footage with the drone.
As we made our way to a beach near the Columbia Glacier, we finally had a chance to test the Mavic 3 in perfect conditions. I got the drone in the air, made sure everything was connected to the app, and then I just went flying.
Now, this video pretty much ends there. There's some pretty shots because obviously I'm showing off the drone, but all the stuff we shot after that isn't really useful because I've already achieved my goal. So when you're coming up with the storyline after the fact, you're going to have just a lot of footage that's going to be on the cutting room floor. That's a term people use. You're just not going to use some of the footage. Whereas if you come up with this desire before you go out and shoot, you know exactly what to point your camera at, you know what to shoot, and you're not going to be wasting a ton of your time getting all this extra footage. So there's different ways that you can approach this, but coming up with that desire is going to be one of the essential things you want to do in the edit. But as I mentioned, you don't have to do it right away. It can be something that you can start working through, and as you get more footage and now you start shooting, you can start figuring out what is the storyline that's going to take someone from the beginning, having this want, having this need, having this goal, to the end, actually achieving it or not achieving it, depending on how the story wraps up. Now, this is a storytelling principle that works in every type of film, whether you're making a vlog here on YouTube or you're making more of like a documentary. And it's something that we're always looking for when we're creating our SOWN documentaries. SOWN is the nonprofit that I run where we send filmmakers around the world to shoot for other nonprofits. And in one of these films, we went to Rwanda and we told the story of Alex that's helping run this organization that's taking care of all of these different children in his community. Now, one of the big things with his desire in this film is that he had a really tough childhood. And so he had this desire that he wants to make sure that every kid knows that they're special in this community and every kid has opportunity because it's something that he didn't have when he was a kid. And so having that strong desire right up front helped us guide the film and helped us guide what we were shooting in Rwanda when we were working with Alex so that we could tell his story and ultimately create a awesome little documentary for this nonprofit that then they could use to help raise more money for their organization. And having this desire, it was one of the biggest things that's going to allow you to grab your audience, draw them in so that they will watch the rest of the film. And for these SOWN films that we're creating, it's so important that we have this desire and we can draw our audience in because being able to connect with the audience on this emotional level is what's going to help make a difference for the community in the end. So whether you are doing something like a documentary or you're just doing a fun vlog here on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Desire is one of the most important things you want to think about, even if it's just a small thing. Just having that thing, that want, is going to help your audience come along with you on the journey and keep them wanting to watch more. Because at the end of the day, you want to get people hooked, you want to draw them in, and then you want them to come on the journey with you till the end of the video. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos around story and really diving deeper into how you craft interesting stories, whether you are someone who's doing documentary content or you're someone who wants to do more vlog style content, you just want to have a fun YouTube channel. Storytelling is an essential part of that. And it's something I'm going to be digging more and more into on this channel, along with gear and the different things that I do around visual storytelling and everything else that goes into making really interesting videos. Now, if you want to see another video that's all about how to tell stories, then make sure you check out this video right here, and I'll see you on the next one.